Fridays, 10 to 10:55 a.m. Join Fidel and his panel of journalists as they analyze issues on politics, will enhance EFCC's power to investigate independently. Social crisis. This action of this herdsman is totally unacceptable in this country. What is even more embarrassing? The government are going to be very silent about this program. The economy. It's not pathetic adverts.
Calm down, not plenty.
And all the trending stories.
Yeah, we're about to go live on the bottom line. What is it?
Bottom line on 95.1 Nigeria Info, Abuja.
You speak the truth, you die. You lie, you die. You have to speak the truth and die.
The bottom line.
All right, we're here. Let's go, guys. Many thanks. Welcome. It's another Friday right here in the nation's capital. It is 95.1 Nigeria Info. My name is Fidel, and it is the bottom line. It comes every Friday at about this. We'll take a look at some of the biggest stories making headlines across Nigeria. And of course, it's an assemblage of journalists. We'll take a look at all of these issues and we'll dissect them appropriately. Well, we have two big stories we'll be looking at on the show today. You can join us live. Definitely we'll share the video later on Facebook, but it's also on YouTube, and you can join us through your contributions to the WhatsApp portal. The number is 0809 993 0137. Once again, 0809 993 0137. As the program progresses, we'll try to open up the phone line so that you'll be part of the show, and I hope we can open up the phone lines today. Two issues basically. Just this week, Wednesday actually, a group, Nigerian Youth for Change, actually they are campaigning for justice for 43 recruits of the National Pensions Commission. Now, the story is that they were actually hired sometime last year in March, and they got appointment letters, and when they were supposed to resume, they were told that the whole process didn't follow a due process, and their resumption was therefore suspended because it was done in compliance with the Federal Character Commission or Federal Character. Yes, they didn't comply, and they went on to protest, and they said that even one of the guys that were recruited eventually died in the process because he couldn't take care of his health and of course his young family. His name Mustafa Ajia, because he had resigned, a month after he got. Senators actually declared their intention to run for the seat, or rather the office of the president. We're talking about the president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, Senator Jonah Jang, and of course Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. We shall be looking at all of that as well as the party. Well, the journalists are already here. We have Freddie to have the Sun newspapers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning.
Close to him is Jide Oyekule of the Independent newspapers.
Good morning, listeners.
And one man, he's almost becoming a version of Emmanuel Obuche. Each time we, invite him over to the studio, he doesn't show up, and I see him on other platforms. Thankfully, he made that time to be with us on the show today. He's Victor Senagbensin of Radio Nigeria.
It's my pleasure.
And of course, very senior journalist with us in the studio. He's been on both sides, government and of course ordinary journalist. Of course, his name Nosike Ogboenyi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's kick it off. Let's save the best for last, if you like. Let's look at the PENCOM. Jide, you are actually you've been following the story with the whole issues PENCOM. Let's get your take on it, even though we don't. PENCOM has not come out to tell us, or rather to speak with the press with regards to all of the things that happened, because they had a protest in front of their office, and we didn't get the side of PENCOM. But let's look at the side of the individuals, talking about the 43, and of course the one who passed on.
Actually, it is quite unfortunate that one of the recruits died in the process.
You would like to speak up, please?
It's quite unfortunate that one of the recruits died in the process, and the management of the PENCOM actually threw caution to the wind by not telling and giving these people the cogent reason for the suspension of that exercise after they have already passed through they have passed the different various interviews and completed the aptitude test, and as well as offered their employment. Though the PENCOM on their own said that the process did not, it was characterized by all manner of irregularities that the former management of the PENCOM did not obtain the certificate clearance before issuing the employment letter to these people, and as well as that the conditions spelled out by the Federal Character Commissions were not followed. But in all of this, I don't think the way these people were treated is good. Recall that in 2016, about 2,000 recruits of Nigerian Immigration Service also suffered the same incident, whereby they staged a protest in Abuja here after they have undergone 3 months induction training, and the exercise was suspended. I think it is high time, and there is need for the total overhaul of our recruitment and the employment process and procedure, so that the applicants will be able, they'll be able to know at the initial stage that whether they will get the job or they will not get, before they will be subjected to this harrowing and excruciating experience.
All right, let's say from your advice.
It all boils down to the way we handle things in most cases. Very shady ways, very, very uncoordinated. That's what has led to this. I believe it's a lesson. And many organizations in this country, as well as government agencies, parastatals, fall short in this area. It has happened over time, several times, and we keep seeing it recurring. It's unfortunate that somebody has lost his life. We hope that the organization involved now will have to, that's PENCOM, will
get for those looking for jobs. Once you get an appointment letter, it's almost, it's 100% through that another job, and that was why some of them eventually resigned
from where they were working.
Let's look at the 43 that were recruited. I'm speaking with you now, Mr. Boy. Was it that they were not wise enough to have resigned their appointment now that they had been given appointment letters by PENCOM? That's on the one hand. I am also sure that they do not understand the whole politics within
side of PENCOM. To hear their side and say, okay, this is what happened, this is what did not go well. On that basis, I can tell who is at fault. That's on one side. And secondly, we know someone like me, I was to get a job some years back with one of the anti-corruption agencies. The reason why I was not hired was because of federal character, that my state had no vacancy anymore. So if a process which whenever it suits government agencies, they follow, was it adhered to? If it was not, that means at some point somebody broke the law.
That's right.
So we can't, it's okay to sympathize with them, but also need to find out, did they follow due process? When we're able to ascertain they did or they did not, then we can take it from there. But for now, but on the side of sympathy, though, I would, I understand it's like not to have a job, to have a family, to have your hope dash in a country where getting a job is a miracle.
But for you to have an appointment letter, letter, I mean,
no, the appointment letter is the end point.
Yes.
Whereby the process leading to that, was it transparent? Did they follow due process? Did they cut corners? Did they proceed in error? These are things we need to establish before we would take up the fight and say, okay, these people, they need justice. But if on their own, they did mago to get things done, it will be also unfair to just castigate those who, in quotes, are seen to be persecuting them. We need to be sure not to.
But if they did not follow due process,
to be against the government, in this case,
they would have. If they didn't follow due process, do you think they would have, that confidence to go carry out that kind of protest in front of the agency itself?
Well, I don't think. Actually, they must have followed due process. You understand? That's why they actually staged the
in front of PENCOM office.
You understand? To demand for justice.
they are even asking the president to intervene in the matter. But I want to tell you that actually some of the recruitments been taking place in this country. I want to tell you that some of them are just for formality's sake. That they will just place it maybe in the adverts and in the as advertorial in the newspaper, but the real employment have taken place. You understand? But when people say it in the newspaper, it's just for formality, just for public consumption. Because some of these senators, lawmakers, they actually.
Is it a lawmaker?
No, wait.
As lawmaker heads of agencies.
Let me tell you. See, all this. That's what I want to tell you. Is that
you are treading the dangerous. Go on.
No, actually,
But is he lying?
So that's true.
Let him land. Hold on, gentlemen.
No, we are together. No, we're not stampeding.
Oh,
But I
okay.
want
in process.
let him land.
They give slots. For instance, they say, okay, they have 6,000 recruit slot they need to fill. They'll say, okay, members of the commission interior, which they do is a ritual there. They'll give each of them 5 slots. There are about 10 members. If you add that, that's 50. 50 out of 6,000. Should you bring that name here? Whereby heads of the agencies who are in charge of recruitment, they have boards.
But
So you mean
it's unfortunate.
it's
It is
No, it's not
unfortunate
that.
that
But to pick the
Let's hear Judea, please.
it's unfortunate that it's Nigeria, the poor Nigerians, that actually bear the brunt of all this. You understand? Now, tell me, what is the fate of the family of that particular died? You understand? They actually, I would just like to appeal to the ENCO as well as the government, as the president, to actually look into this matter for these people to get.
All right. Hold on, Fred. Let me quickly ask this question.
On this,
Okay. All right.
let me just address 2 issues there. One, it's okay to whip up sentiments. Did the person die because he was stopped from resuming? Was that why he died?
He had resigned, and of course, he had not resumed the PENCOM. He had resigned from his former job.
Okay.
With brandishing the PENCOM recruitment letter.
So he died because he did not have a job.
He didn't have money.
I was jobless for 2 years. I didn't die.
Come on, different story.
No.
different
Hold on now. My point is, I hate emotional blackmail. Did he die because he did not get PENCOM job, or he died for other reasons? Let's not mislead people now.
Fred.
No, we need to establish that. Fred, I don't like emotional blackmail. Let's stick to Fred. Did he die because he did not get the job?
You are bending.
He died for other reasons?
You are bending this.
I'm not.
All right,
I can't so
let me ask you this question. Now that one person has passed, now that one person has passed, and they are just 42, is there no way that their case, this case should be looked into? Maybe just because somebody had died, and compensation or whichever way you want to look at it.
Yes, there's even something I want to say here. I don't think PENCOM has not said anything about this matter. If what I read in the system is correct, PENCOM has actually said, and then even it has been stated at the beginning of this program that PENCOM attributed the problem to some procedural deficiencies, federal character, this and that. So they've spoken out, and that is why I said, why can't they go deeper and give us the statistics so that we know which state, this and that, and so on. So how it is. So there's need for more explanation. And then that's why I said that if it is procedural, then they should look at it and then try to rectify the procedure and do the needful. Because as for somebody dying, well, somebody can die at any time, but then if there is something that is very cogent, somebody can say it's verifiable. So, somebody's job, you promised me something, you went to the center of giving me a letter of appointment, and then you raised my hope. I had something tangible, then I resigned my previous job. Some people die out of shock.
Yes.
Some people die out of disappointment. All these things happen, and I think it's quite unfortunate, and it's a matter that should be looked into quickly. Like I said before, these are Nigerians. And then it's because of the season. Who are the officers responsible for the recruitment? Who are the people that committed this error? Have they been brought to book? So these are issues that should be looked at. They should not punish job seekers. There are millions of them on the streets. They will not bear the brunt of inefficient systems that we have. It shouldn't be like that.
And they all were given appointment letters.
Yes,
that's a shocking part.
Apart from those who are jobless, those who are underemployed, people like us.
Not
Fred.
even only.
Fred,
let me
In fact,
share an experience. Let me share an experience that I had to handle in my capacity as a union leader in somewhere.
FRCM, corporation.
But go on.
Some persons were employed in the dying days of the Jonathan administration. So many, they just came into the system. Now, there were so many that IPPIS, that's the Integrated Personnel Payroll System,
yes.
that was supposed to now capture them to be receiving salary, did not capture some persons. For over 3 years, these persons were they were just there in the limbo. So you see a situation where people just brought in people without recourse to due process, and they began, there was this problem there. So we had to fight and fight and fight. It was only till last month shot by IPPIS. Meanwhile, on paper, they have their, what's it called, now, employment letter as staff of the organization, but not captured by
especially
IPPIS.
government agencies. Can we say that the system is flawed? That's why we have some of these issues.
That is the reason. That is the reason. People just do what they like without recourse to. For instance, the Federal Character Commission, where were they before this process got to that point? The Federal Character Commission, do you remember that people raised alarm over a recruitment process in the DSS? They say don't mention DSS name, but sometimes we must.
Why won't mention it? Where they came from?
Yes.
Dara, 80% of
It's
them.
okay, it's okay, Fred, please.
Now, it took some
That's
of us.
that's not the position of this
It took
station.
some
That's
of
Fred's
us to
opinion.
begin to reach out to DSS and the agencies involved to ask questions. How did it happen that you did the process and people were excluded? It was flawed. It all boils down to what? People failing in their duties.
And the government of change allowed it to hold sway. They didn't stop it.
All right, hold on, gentlemen. Just in case you're joining us, it is the bottom line right here. As we speak, we're looking at the pension issue, where one of those recruited passed, and since they got their letters in 2017, they've still been able to start work because they said the process, according to PENCOM, that their resumption, they had to be postponed or suspended because the number of employees approved, they did not follow due process, especially with regards to the Federal Character Commission. That's all we're talking about. Just in case you want to join us, please do feel free. The WhatsApp portal is open, 0809-993-0137. Just before we go on a short break, let's really hear from you. Don't you think some of these heads of agencies, most of the things, it seems like sometimes their hands are bent, or rather their hands are tied, because we've heard of lists flying around, from influential Nigerians, and where there is no space, you just find find somewhere, to just fix them simply because you want to. A favor has been done, and of course you need to reciprocate. What's your comment on that?
Yes, it's really a problem because it's a situation whereby employment has become a secret affair. People now do it in the closet. It can't be the best. So what happens now is that mainly the children of the upper class that get these positions. It should not be like that. All these places like PENCOM that was mentioned, some other places, if they were children of perhaps the upper class, wouldn't be hearing this. Everything would have been resolved. So the country cannot continue like
there
this.
are some agencies strictly reserved for certain persons, for the elites, like CBN,
in case of CBN,
FRS, like we've heard.
about 2 years ago.
Not FRCN.
No, FRS is for people like you and I. CBN, about 2 years ago, recruited, which was never advertised. And I know of over 15 senators. Whenever there is any recruitment in prison service, fire service, Agbero group, and the rest, senators will give it to their constituents. But about 15 senators, they gave the slot to their children directly. As I speak now, they are staff of CBN. They didn't give it to people like you and I. They give it to their children so that the circle will continue.
So when we say due process, what are we now talking about?
No, there's no due process.
Now it seems like
when it comes to the upper class, due process is ignored. Due process works when people like you and I, who have no one to speak for us, are involved.
Let me tell you an experience quickly. When I was PA to a chief executive in an agency, something happened. What happened? A minister brought a lady to be employed. Now, the DG then said, okay, let's go through due process, let her be interviewed and areas of competence established and all that. The minister said, to hell with that. Ooh, what kind of DG are you? The DG fought back and said, no, these things have to be done right. Do you know what? That DG was removed.
Because of it.
What that tells you.
You lost your job as PA.
What that tells you, no, I didn't get it. Waiting for my own for it. What that tells you is what happens. It's a scenario. Those are the type of things that happen. And people, that's why you see square pegs in round holes. No due process.
We need to take a break, and let's hope all of this will be resolved.
Now who do we blame?
We need to take a break, gentlemen. Let's see if how all of this is going to be resolved. And of course, we need to, our condolences goes out to the one who lost right there. I will take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the 3 senators who declared their intention this week, to run for the position of the president. Yes, the 2019 election is fast approaching, and of course, it is. It is Act 1 Scene 1 as it stands right now. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us.
You know how we don't mention why? Did you know why I can't play him directly? But I want to play him. They are appointing authority to the president.
The party starts.
Members of hold on now. No. It's beyond the hold on now. It's time because I agree how that information is made. I thought you didn't have to, you always miss it. I'll go ballistic.
No, you always miss it.
The president,
what the experience I
you cannot hear me. I said it's about him and not
was
about
a
him.
long ago during the Yara.
I said it's systemic. That's why I won't blame it directly. What I mean? You know that the problem is there. What are you doing?
That's a good question.
I know it's there. I won't blame it here. Inherited is fine. Why are you going to allow it to go away? Because you inherited it.
Do you know what my stand on this thing? We are the problem, and we are not ready to take it.
It's very let me tell you why I did not. It's very technical. We are still on there.
Yes, we are.
I'm not talking.
Give your child a head start with Julia School Resumption Store. From August 13th to September 16th, get amazing discounts at julia.com on over 500,000 school items, including school bags, clothes, shoes, stationery, provisions, and gadgets.
Surely
3.7 million naira up for grabs with 15 scholarships to be awarded. Discounts about the Julia School Resumption Store. Season time, Julia. In partnership with School Kids, HP, Intel, Dental, Bata, and Golden Morn Cars.
I was trying. I went to the company. But I said, I wait to stop. You are now with the shop. If I was from the 3 million tribes, then I had level.
No, you know what they do? When it depends on the heads, when they want to favor their people, they will raise those things.
The credit not quickly finish. Because they talk.
Even in promotion, they will raise those things.
No, so it's in the farm. That's it.
You will get.
Okay, yes, that's right.
30 days. Everybody
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the show. It's the bottom line on 95.1 Nigeria Info. With us in the studio, editor of the Sun newspapers, Jide Oyekunle of the Independent newspaper, Victor Sagbensi, Radio Nigeria, and Nosike Obuenyi, former SC to the immediate past FCT minister, is with us in the studio. And of course, we're looking at some of the biggest stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Just this week, 3 lawmakers, actually 3 senators, including the Senate President Bukola Saraki, declared their intentions to run for the position of the president. The 2 others are former governor of Plateau State and 7th Senator Jonah Jang, and of course, the immediate past governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso, who's also in the Senate, declared. Don't forget, also in the race we have likes of Dankwabo, Lamido, and of course Atiku Abubakar. But just this week, it seems like it was a hood rush. So many of them, and incidentally, all of them are from members of the People's Democratic Party. Let's start off with you, Nosike. What are your thoughts in all of this, especially knowing that it's almost done and dusted that the person who's going to be flying the APC's flag is the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari?
Okay, thank you very much, Fidel. First and foremost, let me say that it's a good development for the country, particularly for the electorate. Now they have option of choice, even beginning from a platform of one of the major political parties, the People's Democratic Party, PDP. If PDP can produce at this stage 3 aspirants, ranking aspirants from the floor of the National Assembly, the Senate, John Ajang, Bukola Saraki, and yes, Rabiu Kwankwaso. So you can understand the intensity of the contest there. And of course, you have others, like you mentioned, Atiku Abubakar, Sule Lamido, of course, Governor Tambuwa, Governor Dankwambo, and of course, former Senator McCarthy, not to forget Toraki, the former minister who is from Kebbi State. So that is very good. And of course, the PDP has stated that they're going to have a very transparent and open contest among these people. There are about 9 of them right now. So, and that promises to be very interesting. And they have also gone ahead to tell these people that, look, contest positively. Make sure that you don't call names. We're not going to microzone the presidency. It's going to the north made up of 3 geopolitical zones, the north central, northeast, and northwest. So, and then, however may be the outcome, according to the chairman of the party, Secondus, you people must vow to accept the outcome. That's very good. Democracy is about choice. Then on the part of they have agreed. They have all come out.
Calm down, gentlemen.
They have all stated that they would abide by the outcome of the, the primary, that they would not migrate to another political party. They have stated so. Then, of course, APC at their caucus meeting, was it yesterday, they decided to adopt direct primaries for the choice of their presidential candidates. And even though some people look at that somehow with unsuspicion, because it's already there as if it's foreclosed that they're going to have only one person there in the person of the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari. So, and so when you look at it, it's like neither here nor there. So whoever emerges in PDP is now going to face that incumbent. So, but what saddened me was that APC did not extend the direct primaries to the other ranks. I mean the requested governorship, senatorial, House of Representatives, and House of Assembly. They should have done that at least to make sure that the democratic game is on. So they didn't do that, but they went for indirect primaries, which is a euphemism for imposition. It should not be the best for.
All right, before we go further, hold on, please. Before we go further, I'll give you, because so many have heard about direct and indirect primaries. I need you to take us through what the direct primary means and of course what the indirect primary means.
It's very simple. Direct primaries for like the what they agreed for the president is one where across the country, everybody, members of APC will vote. All card-carrying members of APC will go and vote for the candidates. So that's what they agreed for the president. Then for that of indirect, is that they will have delegates. They will have delegate lists. There will be statutory delegates. Then other delegates that will be added up to the list so that they can go and vote. That means the basic difference is that direct primary is no representative. Go and choose your flag bearer.
I don't know that in this country, some would accept to be in a particular party, but when the chips are down, when it doesn't favor them, they move over to other political parties. Can we take them seriously with this agreement that they will stay in the party if they lose, for instance? Can we hold them to that? Can we take them seriously?
Their body language, we can't trust them. Their body language is already, every one of them for now is saying they are the best, they are the best. So how do you now take them for that that promise that they will really stick to it? So it's very difficult.
All right, Fred, these men are no small men.
Which of them?
There's Kwankwaso, there's Saraki, There is Jonah Jang, who's been around a very long time. There's Atiku Abubakar. There's Danko Abo. There's even former Speaker and Governor of Sokoto State, Tambuwal. How do you manage all of these egos? These guys are loaded to the teeth. How do you manage their ego? You know,
in every we have two major political parties in Nigeria: the APC and the PDP. Governors call the shots. Wherever the pendulum shifts to when it comes to the position of the governor, that's where everything happens. It's true. But for the body language of the governors, you already know where it's tilting to us, but we can't say that on air because that's me to prove your claim.
So don't.
But no, I won't. So this is the point. Those who are saying agreeing on principle that if they don't win the primaries, that they will stay in the party, it's just a political statement. You can stay in the party and not work for the emergence of the candidate of the party. You can be from within, you destroy and work for the other. We see that happened in 2015. So those who are saying, oh, they will stay back, they won't do this, they are just trying to play politics. And beyond that, I have issues with some of them. Not because they're not competent, they are, but because they have this entitlement mentality that if it's not us, no one else. So I like Uncle Jonah Jang, who I think about 40 years ago was the governor of the states, coming back onto the president. Kwakwanso, who in the 90s was deputy speaker, minister, governor, senator, president,
defense minister.
Same with Saraki. The question is, can't we have something better? Are there no alternatives? Must it be the same recycled people? If it's on that basis, I don't think any of those guys should get a ticket. But since PDP may likely adopt the indirect primary option, I'm not sure people like you and I who are not members of any party will have a say. All we have to do just to postulate here and hope that the best people will.
We keep talking about new guys. These are old recycled people and all of that. How easy is it for a new person being in a big party a big party like the APC or the PDP? How easy is it for you to raise up your head to say, I want to struggle and get this piece of pie from all of those that have been funding, all of those that have been in the party, all of those that have been in politics for a very long time? You know, in Nigeria, we play money politics. How do you marry these two?
Actually, I want to start from the those that have declared their ambition. And we don't need the body language analysts or experts to tell us that Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, will join the presidential race. And I'm not surprised that at the end of the day, his high wire style of politics recently has paid off. And he has been able to take advantage of his perceived political vilification and persecution to butter his own political bread, which is good and which is working for him. Having said that, the pluralism of the presidential aspirants under the platform of PDP is worrisome and it's called for concern. Because one would have expected some of the aspirants under the PDP to actually lock themselves inside one room for good 3 days or more, agree and disagree, to disagree and agree, and come up with a consensus candidate, just like
the APC has.
just like cardinal of the College of Cardinals. Whenever they want to choose the next pope, they lock themselves in the Papa's conclave, while the world will be waiting for the white smoke to come out, which signifies the election of the new pope. Having said that, I hope that is the only thing that the major opposition party, which is PDP, if they can come together, come up with a consensus candidate, that is what they can do to
Fred already.
The president,
all right.
President Muhammadu Buhari.
All right. Thank you so much. Fred already disagrees. Do you agree, Victor?
I do not, because consensus to bring a lot of problems. What I would advise the leadership of APC: transparent, firm process. Secondus and his team, be firm. Say, go, let it be clear. the what they call it, the list for delegates. Let it be clear, agreed by all people, following the due process, what is laid down, both statutory and the others. Let it be clear and let them go and contest squarely and fairly, not unity lists or whatever. If they do that, they will run into problems again.
So do you think that's what will not come up? Even if they go
all right, let's say, no, hold on, guys. Let's hear from the elder statesman in the studio as we speak right now. Looking at all of these, 11, I mean, about 9 to 11 persons already. Do you see more coming out to declare their intention before October when the PDP will hold its primaries?
It's possible. And then let me also say that I don't even see the large number as a minus for PDP because ultimately, I think they've learned their lesson. Because the other option is just like you're standing on a cliff. If you just go the other way, you find yourself in a deep, in a deep gully. So the option for PDP, for all the presidential aspirants and whatever, is Buhari on the other side and the APC. And I don't think with the experience that, what they've gone through in the past 3.5 years, that they would prefer Buhari to any one of them. So that remains something. It's just like, a group of sheep. Whenever they sight a wolf, they will find a common ground. So it has gotten to that level. So I think ultimately we're going to have a very keen contest. Buhari is going to have a run for his money, no doubt about that. It's going to come, and the way I see it, and I also see something. The issue of these unity lists and so on, there's nowhere, even if you go to US, they have the Chicago Mafia. They're the ones, when they decide, they are the people that made Obama. They make, if they decide secretly, they will just endorse somebody. And they will go all the way, go through the media, other processes to make sure that that person emerges. It still exists until today. That's about American democracy. There must be groups, shadowy groups,
but
this and that and so on.
But hold on, looking at this list now, for instance, this list that we have right now, don't forget election has to have, I mean, even though it's been zoned to the northern parts, talking about the PDP, APC presidential, election has to go through Nigeria. Is a national thing. Don't you think all of these candidates and the party should also look at national spread before they pick whoever? Because, I mean, I've seen these names and yes, please.
There has been an argument. This point I'm about to make, I hope to not be misconstrued. The contest will be in North Central, sorry, Northwest, because the bulk of the votes will come from there. If you plan to, or there's any hope of defeating Buhari in the north, if you take somebody from the northeast to run against the president, it's like losing before election. Not because they don't have the right to, but because of the realities on ground. The figure from northwest is second to none, except for southwest, which has a combination of people from southeast, south, and the rest. But northwest is a place you can't play with. So if you have a key contestant like Buhari coming from northwest, I want to give a ticket to somebody from north central or northeast. That's political suicide.
And in this regard, how many of them are from the northwest outside?
You have about four. You have about 4 of them. Papaso, Tambuwa, Turaki, and Makarafi. About 4 of them.
I think okay.
There's any hope?
5. There are 5.
About 5. If there's any hope, the content is going to be. If you can imagine, you give a ticket to somebody from northeast and vote from Kano, Katsina, Kaduna, Sokoto, goes to Buhari, election will be won and lost. That's the reality. Even if you combine the vote from northeast, 2 states from northwest will demystify the figure. So if we can sit here and say, oh, this one is popular, or can you defeat Buhari in the north?
But look at all of these candidates. All of these candidates coming out. I mean, don't you think they know this?
Well, some of them are. We have contenders and we have pretenders, and by the time they get to the pre-contest, particularly the primaries, some of them will actually make their feet 2 days before.
Do you guys think the smaller parties can pull any kind of surprise?
In Nigeria?
Yeah, don't be surprised. Yesterday at Chelsea Hotel, facts.
You're going to pay for that advert.
No.
Just mention the name of the hotel.
No, sorry. The presidential.
Somewhere around Central area.
Yeah, somewhere around.
Yes.
The president.
Before, don't say it.
The president.
All right, guys, you can join us. No, it's okay. Don't say it. Don't say it. You already mentioned the name of the hotel.
Not even Apuga.
No.
Not even
Now, if you say they do not stand a chance, Nosike, if you say they do not stand a chance, these smaller parties, why would they come up as a party in the first place? Their roles. Do they have roles?
Yes, they have roles because election is not just about the presidency. It's about there are other elections, the House of Assembly, National Assembly election, governorship election, even councillorship. So some of these parties are for these.
But don't you think some of them spring up just for selfish reasons?
No, it's not selfish. It's about that's eventually they may also form coalitions. Few weeks ago, of course, 42 political parties decided to come together, what they call the CUPP. Then 20 other political parties said they were, that's coming together with APC and so on. And then we had that 23 political parties registered, bringing it to 91. So coalition is also, accepted norm under democratic system. So it's all for good.
All right, let's see if we can squeeze in a couple of calls. 094600951. That is 094600951 or 0809-597-4869. Tell us your name, tell us your location, and drop your comments within 30 seconds so that we'll take as many calls as we can. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning to everybody in the studio. My name is.
Walk away from the radio, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to use this medium to beg all the aspirants to PDP that whoever am I, they should unite. Let's a collective fight so that we can give this government the run for their money.
All right, thank you very much. Hello. He already made his point. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
This is Abakar from Gogoleda.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. The mayor, calculation and communication by you gentlemen cannot win APC power by 2019. People can decide in just within 24 hours. People are fed up with APC. People will vote against this government.
All right, thank you very much. 30 seconds over. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, PC from Silesia. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
My own is that no aspirant in PDP has said they will bring the oil price from what?
Are they opaque? Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Please let me make this statement clear.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Elder Emma Okoro.
Okay.
The 2019 elections is extremely very important to this nation. And many other international countries are saying Nigerians must go out and build a bigger democracy. So the more the presidential candidates in PDP, the more our democracy gets greater because of the other's opinion. But eventually, one person will come in because we are in dire straits now.
All right, thank you very much. 33 seconds there. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and location, please.
Yes, I'm Mr. Chikwel calling from Airport Road. I want to disagree with the man that said that if a candidate come from Northeast, that he will not do well because of Northwest. It is not true. He's saying the wrong thing. Thank you.
He did not say the candidate will not do well. What he said was that if you want to, if you want to give the ruling party a run for the money, just try to split the vote in the Northeast. That was what he said. Otherwise, if bringing somebody from Northeast, it's done and dusted. That was what he said. All right. He didn't say they won't do well. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Your name and location, please.
Yeah, 1 trillion PDP candidates.
I said name and location. Hello. 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 Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
What's your name, please?
My name is Muhammad Kajur. I'm calling from Newtown.
Talk to us.
You see, this issue of employment you are talking about.
Yes.
If we can come together, both media houses and every newspaper and other means of communication, we can still fight it on by we canceling this issue of big man and what have you, because it's really hitting hard on youth. You see, NNPC, CPN, and other big agencies, they are just putting their children. And that is just this investigative journalism. If you put it out, we charge it out for them. And our lawmaker must do something about it.
All right, thank you very much. That's why we were talking about it on the show. All right, any last line from you, Fred?
Yeah, no last line. The president is. I'm happy about the turnout. People are defying rain, sunshine to register, and I'm hoping that beyond restriction, 2019 they won't sell their votes or sell their PVCs. They will vote for who they want, and for once, our vote will count, and we'll elect the president of our dream.
Judy?
People should go and get their PVC. So that's my own message.
Victor Sin?
Too many abandoned PVCs. They should go and pick them up.
That's okay.
Yeah, the contestants vote intra-party and inter-party. They should always know that the ultimate is to make that Nigeria is greater and better. So they shouldn't destroy the country. They should know that we should contest within the ambits of making this country safer, more peaceful, and then more prosperous.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. We've had Fred Ito on the show. He works for the Sun newspapers, and Jido Yekule of the Independent, Victor Sinagman, of Radio Nigeria, and very senior veteran journalist with us also dropped his comments on the show. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. Join us again next week, Friday, when we come back with